Hi, I'm Warren Whitlock for Twitter Handbook here with Robert Scoble. Hi, Robert.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I understand you use Twitter a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And friend feed and all these fun tools, on my iPhones.
Great. And I thank you for writing the forward to the Twitter Handbook, but I got a question.
Writing at 140 characters at a time now is a little tough.
Yeah, I know. It's going to take us a little while to get that in there. So great.
If there was justice in the world, the whole book would have to be 140 characters.
Right. What I want to know, we keep hearing a bunch of things like, Twitter's going away or isn't working, there's a fail well, and should we all switch over to friend feed or something else, identity.ca. What do you have to say about that? Is Twitter here to stay?
Absolutely. Switch away. The more I try to get people to switch, the less they do. So. Twitter, it's interesting. Twitter, you're locked in place because your friends are there. So unless you get all your friends to move somewhere else, you're never going to get something else to be as successful a brand as Twitter is. And we see that, right? Twitter's down over the last 2 months. It's been down a lot. Almost every day for the last 2 months. It's getting a little bit better lately, but still features don't work on there. I go to the direct reply page and it crashes on me, and the IM doesn't work that used to work before, and all sorts of stuff like that. But we still are there.
Don't you think it's something that the Twitter phenomena, the revolution, is something bigger than?
I don't know. I'd call it a revolution, but
the social marketing revolution.
Yeah, really. When Twitter joined IM and blogging and forums into one place, right? And give every message URL so I could link to any specific message. It's pretty unique from that. I don't know that that's a revolution. It's an evolution, I think, of where a lot of communication is going to go. Where were we going?
Well, so I mean, regardless of what happens with Twitter, the company, are we going to be tweeting in the future?
Yeah, I think so. I think that form of a short message that you send around the world to either your friends or an audience or to a web service, right? Because I can not just communicate human to human with Twitter, right? I can communicate machine to machine, and that's a pretty unique way of looking at the world. But if you're watching Twitter Vision, for instance, that's not owned by Twitter, and yet they're using an API to grab messages out of the Twitter bucket and display them on Google Map, right? And that's we're not going to stop doing that kind of thing anytime soon. Video's not going to replace sending a short text message. It's just not as efficient. And is there going to be another service that comes along that does tweeting better than Twitter? Maybe more reliably, but not better. And that's the hard marketing challenge. Is that, can you add a little photo in there? Yeah, okay, but is that really better? Does that add a lot to the communication? I don't think so. So I don't see a big revolution that's going to put tweeting out of business. Maybe a better service will come along that's better integrated into the tools we use.
And we're still going to be doing it no matter what. So and what do we say to those people that come along? Because I know we're just the minority of the population. Somebody says, "Hey, what about this? Is it unstable? Is it working? Is there something else? Should I start doing it?"
Life is unstable.
Great. What advice do you have?
We don't get out of this alive. So.
Other than reading my book, what advice do you have for somebody that says, should I bother doing any of this?
I think, if you have something to communicate with other people, you should think about it. Because it's a unique way to communicate with other people around the world. And it's certainly an interesting way to have a conversation that you can't have by watching CNN or sending an email to somebody. An email doesn't have a URL, so I can't link into an email. An email doesn't have an RSS feed, so I can't get it mixed into friend feed and into my Google Reader, right? The way I can with Twitter. And an email isn't an API that a service like Twitter Vision can use or Twirl can use to display these messages in a different way in a different place.
Right. And I got one more question now.
Yeah.
I know you have more followers than God. More following, and you're doing all this, and you spend a lot of time.
I think the Catholic Church has more followers than I do.
How do you?
The Pope will still.
Well, I was just trying to get you on one of the old Lenin thing. I'm more popular than Christ, but okay.
No,
So
I think if the Pope was
I'm not going to get you to make a goof like that. So, but no, you have a whole bunch of followers. I know it must take a whole lot of time. And we've been telling people, you got to be reading these things, you got to be paying attention, you got to get in the conversation.
Yeah.
How do you keep the balance?
I'm using it for a very specific purpose. Everybody I followed is a de facto early adopter. So, and I say you define yourself by who you follow, not who follows you, right? So, because that's the inputs in your life are what are going to make you smarter or stupider or funnier or not as funny or more informed or not as informed. So if you choose your inputs wisely, that's going to define you. Whether you're following all sports people, you're going to probably be more up to date on sports, right? If you follow all like if you follow people like New Media Jim, who's a cameraman in the White House for NBC, you're probably going to be more up to date on what the president's going to do, right? So if you choose the people you're following carefully, you're going to change yourself, I guess. So I'm trying to follow early adopters because I'm studying how early adopters think and what they talk about, what they like, what iPhones and apps they like, stuff like that. And that's how I find a lot of stuff for the latest technology in my life. It's how I know about what's cool on PlayStation 3 or on the iPhone or on my laptop. People tell me, oh, you should go watch Wine Library TV. And you go over there and watch it, and go, oh, that's really cool. And it's because the early adopters are looking for cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah, so like you and I both follow thousands of people, but it's not some kind of a contest. It's a matter of we follow what's going to work for us, and it's okay if somebody follows 10 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if your only goal is to follow your family, then that defines you too. You're a family person, right? And you're trying to see what your daughter's doing at school, or something like that. That's fine too. It's just I'm using it to study a sizable group of early adopters, and most of them are handpicked, and that's what happens. If you turn out to be an idiot, I unfollow you. If you really are an idiot, if you go racist on me or something, you get blocked, right? So I completely, over time, I continue to weed out, to add new people to who I'm following so that I get smarter, and see more cool stuff.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me see, in case somebody hasn't ever heard of you, you're Robert Scoble. Your blog is Scobleizer, and from there we can find out whatever else you're up to.
Yeah, you can search for Robert on Google. I'm the number 2 or 3 Robert right now.
Okay, well, that's easier to spell than Scoble.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And you're Scobleizer on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And follow this guy. He's the smartest guy, one of the smartest guys I know.
Fastcompany.tv. So if you go over to Fast Company Magazine or fastcompany.com.
Great.
That's where my day job is. So.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks so much. I'm Warren Whitlock for Twitter Handbook. Talk to you again soon.